Turned into months, and I knew that the schools were lying. So I took her out of school, and my intent was to homeschool. But a chance friendship at a wrestling camp over the summer catapulted her into the #1 girls wrestling school in the country. But I was still frustrated because all the data was showing that the COVID was not hurting kids. And so the schools were still closed, they were still vaccinating, they were still masking. And I said, this is crazy. So I started to do protests. I organized protests about the mandates, and I said, a lot of them went national actually. And I attended boisterous Marin County Office of Education and school board meetings, and I protested the school closures, the vax mandates, and the mask mandates. In the meantime, parents all over the country were learning about the indoctrination of the anti-racist theory, the critical racist theory, and the radical gender ideology. So keep in mind, the American Library Association sanctions drag queens reading to your children. The current presidential administration is fighting for the right to chemically castrate your children and for the right to censor you. And Rob Bonta and Gavin Newsom are fighting to protect schools from prosecution if they change the kid's gender without telling you. My daughter is now a ranked college wrestler, and I must protect her from the possibility that she could be horribly hurt if a man pretending to be a woman decided that winning at all costs was more important, and he bullied his way onto the women's wrestling team. Now, when I took these positions 3 years ago, they were pretty unpopular. And now I see a lot of people talking about the need to respect women's spaces and for parents to be involved in the gender issues. And as the list of mysterious illnesses and deaths increases, people are asking questions about the COVID vaccine. Now, I'm glad I could be among the first people to raise awareness about these issues. And suddenly it seems like these are no longer fringe issues. It was hard to talk about it then, but now it's easy. So I talked about it when it was hard. And that shows leadership, and that is what we need our leaders to do. California is in trouble. 70% of Californians believe that when their children are grown, they will be worse off than their parents. Inflation, crime, homelessness are out of control, and people feel helpless to do anything about it. Our country is on a precipice. Our sovereignty, our personal control, our individual rights, our pursuit of happiness, that our rights are from God and not from government, are infringed. Daily, we must contend with the government interference in our lives. Now, I notice a number of candidates saying, we need to bring people together, or we need to heal the divide. So do you want me to go to Congress and come back to you and say, well, there's still an invasion at the border, we still have no water, your kids are still being sexualized, and we're still spending billions of dollars on forever wars. But we're all getting along great. No, I don't think so. If I tell you that, then I have lost the battle. I think you want a fighter. I am providing more details about my campaign than anyone else in this race. I have published detailed op-eds and position papers on the border invasion, inflation, homelessness, water storage, and local school bonds, as well as Humboldt's County Measure A, and their sadly underfunded roads. I am endorsed by the California Republican Assembly, Sonoma County Pro-Life, the California Rifle and Pistol Association, the American Independent Party, among others. I am a conservative. I believe a return to conservative values will be good for District 2. Things can only change if we change the leadership in District 2. Thank you very much.